Hi everybody. I just wanted to hop on and tell you thank you so much for all the comments, the prayers, the subscribers for my page. I was really nervous about doing this video and I just wanted to get it out there because nobody is alone. Everybody needs somebody to talk to vent to know that it's okay that your child is addicted. Your child is a drug addict. It's okay to say that. Doesn't mean you don't love them. Doesn't mean that you don't try to help them, because we all do. Sometimes we enable it. That's not a good thing. But we've all been there and we've all done it in one way or another. And it's not easy, because you think sometimes, if I'm not helping my child, then does that mean I don't love them? Like, we're already living with the guilt of what did we do wrong? Like, this has got to be my fault. Well, guess what? It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's their fault. And this is on them. The actions that they take, the actions they make, that's on them, not us as parents. And it took me a long time to realize that. I'm not going to let them play the victim, because at the end of the day, we didn't do it. We raise our children to the best of our ability. Is anybody perfect? Is anybody's life perfect? Absolutely not. I don't care how much money you have, how much money you don't have. We all bleed the same. And that's always my motto. We do bleed the same. Same color. We're no different than the next person in line. Life isn't peaches and cream. It's not easy. But you know what? You got to take actions for your actions. So we try to say, you know what? Why don't you go to rehab? Why don't you... as a parent, if I could just get him into rehab. Well, that doesn't always work either. And as adults, we can't make them go. So it's their choice. It's the choices they make. And they're not always good choices. And who suffers? Well, they suffer in a way. And I'm trying to keep this video upbeat, because the first video, I was so emotional, and I have so many thoughts that I want to put out there, because I know there's so many people going through this with their children. There's so many grandparents that are taking care of their grandchildren at times in their lives when they think, oh, our kids are grown, we can go and do what we want. Guess what? Doesn't work that way always. Here we are. So you step up, you take that role, and you do the best you can. At the same time, you're still trying to help your child. Well, at some point, they have to say, I want it. I want it enough that I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to get clean, and I'm going to stay clean. And I know there's like Alcoholics Anonymous and all that, but there's not really groups that are for addicts. I know that probation sends you to, oh, you got to go to AA. Well, they don't always hit on that whole drug scenario, because it's for alcoholics. It's still a disease, so I guess they put it together that way. But right now, at this time, because of COVID, people that are on parole or probation, they're not getting drug tested. They're not getting urine tested because of COVID. Something's wrong with our system here. Because you know what? If they're repeat offenders, why are they not getting drug tested? Why are they not? Yeah, it blows my mind. It just blows my mind. It's like they're saying, you know what? You can do what you want, because we're not going to test you. So, UOD, is it on you? It is on you. However, What's wrong with our system today? Why are we not? I mean, people go get blood drawn. We still have COVID, but people are getting blood draws and this and that. So why are they not mandating that these addicts get tested? You can't stop it if you can't do the testing. So there's where our system fails us. Our children, our brothers, our sisters, some parents even, are falling through the cracks. Because this is what happens. Yes, it's on them. Yes, it's their choice if they're on the drugs. But the addicts don't see it that way. They can look you right in the eye and say, I'm not using. Well, guess what? I know better. I see it. And the kids, here's our kids, not just my grandchildren, families. I was talking to a very close friend of mine, and her children they're her stepchildren, they have issues. Their mom's an addict, and one of the children actually saw the mom OD and had to call 911. What's that do to your child? What does that do? One of the other children has anger issues. Of course he's angry. Why wouldn't he be angry? You know, he's old enough to know, but they don't quite understand. Why can't I see my parent? Why can't I be with my parent? Well, because your parent doesn't make the right decisions. So the other parent has to make that decision and say, absolutely not going there. Not happening. What if something's left out at that other parent's house? What's going to happen? What's going to happen if one of those children gets a hold of that? That's another story. This life we're in is so messed up. And, you know, I know personally with my grandchildren, I see the effects it has. The anxiety, the insecurities. Children should not have to go through this. It's not just my grandchildren. It's other kids. And these addicts need to wake up and they need to stop using. If you're not going to do it for your kids or your parents, do it for yourself. I mean, we only get one life. And just because you think that's not going to happen to me, well, guess what? My nephew thought it wasn't going to happen to him too. And he's no longer with us. It can happen to anybody. Anybody. You are not immune to ODing. Your children should not have to grieve the loss of their parent at any age. Whether they're 2, 3, 10, 15. And that brings me to another thing. Okay, so the parent ODs. The child, a preteen. You think they're not going to have issues with that? You think they're not going to come out and say, you know what? I started drinking when I was like 15. I started drinking when I was 12. You know, I had a bad experience. That can't be our future for these children. It can't. And it doesn't matter how much you preach. You can preach and preach and preach. They gotta want it. So, here we are, doing the best you can. These grandparents doing the best they can to raise kids that they didn't think they were going to be raising because they already raised their children. So I'm sure that there's families out there that are embarrassed. They don't want to talk about it because if they talk about it, it's real. Well, guess what? It is real. And it's affecting so many. It's not just New York State. It's everywhere. Grandparents raising children. Or even parents raising their stepchildren or, their sisters, their brothers because of addiction. So what can we do to stop it? Nothing. Can we keep putting it out there? Yeah. And hope and pray that someday they wake up and say, I'm done. I'm done with this. I do know a few people that were addicts and have been clean for years. And they still say, guess what? I'm an addict. Because that want doesn't go away. But you have to be stronger than the drug. You have to say, not today, not tomorrow. I'm done. And there's so much to live for. Even if you don't have children right now. You want to be alive. You want to explore life. Some people don't get that chance. Not because of their fault, because other things happen and their life gets taken from them. And they're the ones that want to live. They want to do things and explore life and raise a family. And sometimes they don't get that chance. But when you're on drugs, that's your choice. It's your choice. And again, we're left behind because we don't matter enough. Something's got to stop. Something has to happen, and not death. Not death, not ODing. We need to wake up and realize that we only get one life. We get one shot.